Welcome to Fuse 2018! Awesome. Hey, you guys can go ahead and grab a seat. If it clears out up here a little bit, you're welcome to sit on the floor. But just go ahead and grab a seat. Hey, 10 years of Fuse. Here we go. Hey, do we have anybody here from the Leland campus? All right. How about from the Wilmington campus? And let's not forget about straight out of New Bern. Yeah. All right, so we have 3 of our campuses represented here. We are gathered together for one more year of Fuse, and we are so excited about tonight and the rest of the week. Man, we're all together. It's awesome. So I'm going to ask our volunteers, as you guys are getting seated, I said that at rehearsal, seating. As you're getting seated, we're going to bring out the student books. If you guys have been coming for a number of years, we know we've been doing student books. So everybody has a student book on your seat. You should have had a pen. The very first thing you need to do is write your name in the book as it comes. As our volunteers are coming out to hand out books, I want to turn your attention to the gigantic LED screen behind me, because one of the best things we've done over 10 years of Fuse is a thing we call Win of the Day. And we haven't been doing it the last couple of years, but we decided to bring it back this year. Win of the Day is something that we feel was pretty awesome that happened that day at Fuse. So go ahead and check this out. This is an example of something that happened today. Check this out as you're getting your handbooks.
Purple team's the best, better than the rest. No doubt. Purple team's the best, better than the rest. Win of the day, win of the day.
All right, so as far as I know, there were no extra points awarded, ladies, but well done on that, very good. So here's what you need to know about Win of the Day. Except for the one today, which we didn't have our camera operator there, so it was on a cell phone camera, which was great. It was as high quality as we could have gotten from you guys. That's not the way we do Win of the Day. If you see Joey, our videographer, out and about, and you want to do something awesome for the Win of the Day, that's when you got to do it. So if you see him, he's got his camera, and you've I've got something for Win of the Day, or you're like, I'm about to get blobbed 30 feet in the air, you need to watch, hopefully he'll be there to catch that. So Win of the Day is something that we will film, and we're going to show every night. So pay attention for the camera operators. So hopefully you have your student book, and you have done step 1, which is, right, good listening. Good listening. All right, you write your name in it somewhere, because we know we're going to find these. The second thing you need to do with these books tonight is when you're done with them, give them to your leader. They'll probably be less likely to lose them than you will, especially since Jeff Banks isn't leading his group this week, all right? Because he loses everything. All right. I want to turn your attention to the first page real quick. Couple of things to note. The first page really is your blueprint for success here at camp. You've got your schedule on the opening page there. You have your schedule also, if you haven't noticed, if you're not observant, it's on your lanyard as well. So, if you have lost your lanyard, we did bring some more. We can make another one for you. You can take care of that back at the desk tomorrow in the back of the room. The lanyard's going to help you know where to be. Your schedule in here is going to help you know where to be. Now, we're hoping to be a little more on time for our other sessions coming up. So make sure you're where you need to be when you're supposed to be there. The other page is the expectations. That's just a nice way of saying rules. Hey, if you need to know what we expect of you, it's right there. Things like respecting property goes without saying. Respecting people should be something we do all the time anyway. No purple. Now, I realize we have a team that's purple. That is not derogatory toward you and your team. All right? It is derogatory toward any sense of being a couple unless you and the other person has these, all right? I can kiss my wife. So there, all right. Be in the right place at the right time and all the stuff you shouldn't have brought with you. It's all right there. That is your logistical success at Fuse. Couple things left over to go over. All right, seating tonight. You came in and sat wherever you wanted. I do see pockets of teams out there. Moving forward for every session, we're gonna use flags of your team's color to let you know where to sit. So if you got stuck way in the back tonight, you're definitely gonna get a chance to be up here at the front. We're gonna share being all around the room. So seating chart kind of by flag happens tomorrow, and you sit behind where your flag is. All right, so if your flag is in front of you, you're in the right spot. Next. Oh, that's it. That's all I have. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. The games that we're gonna play this week, the competitions that we're gonna be doing, our way of determining a winner, what we decided to do this year, since it is our 10th year, was to go back and ask ourselves, what are the absolute best games, activities, and things that we have done over 10 years of Fuse. And that is the theme for everything we're doing. Your hosts for the games tonight are gonna be Jeffrey Banks and Taylor Swander. Go ahead and put your hands together for these guys.
What's up, Fuse?
What's up? Woo!
How are you guys doing?
Can I get some love, pink team? Yeah! Okay.
What about purple team?
I was on their bus, so I just had to. I was on their bus.
Fair enough. So look, we got some stuff to tell you guys about. It's been 10 years of Fuse. We're stoked that you guys are all
Best
here.
of Fuse competition.
We thought we'd bless you with some gifts. So,
this year we're doing something called supply drops. Okay? Pretty simple. They'll look like this. It's an army green
it's actually a laundry bag.
laundry bag, but it's way cooler than dirty laundry in here.
Because
yeah,
you got
Star
Crunch.
Crunches, and we got like...
You don't know what Star Crunch is? Get it together. We got
like
Star
Santa.
Crunch. We got Doritos.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, sour gummies.
That is 5 pounds of sour gummies. Takis.
Takis. Is that
Yes.
how you... Oh, wow. Wow, that's a winner.
Oreos, but we couldn't afford the real Oreos, so we got Twist and Shout.
Fireworks. Or just Pop-Its, you know.
And then we got Coke, not the kind of high schoolers are hoping
We got gum, we got soda.
Mountain Dew. It's going to be a good time.
There'll be a lot more in there, but here's how it works. Those are just going to be somewhere at camp each day, okay? And if you find it, you get to keep it, and you can share it with your small group, or you can eat it all and be a jerk.
So when you're walking to lunch, walking to dinner, walking to session, be looking for those bags. Be looking for these.
And if I find one, I'm keeping it.
If we find them too, and we know where they're at, so you got to find them quick. But before we get into all that mess, like we told you, we're doing the 10 years of awesome games that we've been doing, and we wanted to do one that everyone would remember.
Oh, yes.
And I know the 6th graders might not remember last year, but we had a friend who actually went down on stage during one of these games.
Yes, we did.
So,
where's Olivia?
Hey, Olivia, are you here?
Olivia, where are you out here, Olivia?
Olivia, where are you at? Come up here, Olivia.
Woo!
Yes. This is great. So last year we played this game and we had these tubes, and we put some foam in the middle of them, and she went up against a grown man.
Can we do a reenactment real quick?
Yeah, it was
I'll be Olivia.
Okay. And she did that. What's up, Olivia?
Sorry.
Have you fully recovered from last year?
I have. I don't have a scar anymore.
Yeah, you're good.
Scar? Okay,
You're
good.
good.
All right, so we decided to up the ante.
You're gonna help us out, okay? So you're gonna actually hold what we're gonna be playing with tonight, okay? If
All
you
right,
wanna...
so we decided not to do chair foam anymore, so we got crickets.
Ooh, those
Hold
are
this.
good. They are all edible, okay? So,
They're all edible.
So you know.
These are called sago worms. They almost look like raisins.
Raisins, cool.
And then I got scorpions.
some scorpions, pretty sweet.
So,
Pretty sweet.
we need... What team are you on? You're on yellow team?
You're yellow,
Heck
okay.
yeah.
So
Let's hear for yellow team
we need
real
the
quick.
bravest, strongest stomach. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
From
Whoever wants to eat
each
bugs.
team, one person from each team to come
Except
up and
yellow
play.
team.
Except for
Except yellow
yellow.
team.
Except for yellow. Except yellow.
All right, what's up? Come
Yellow's
on.
already covered. Yellow's already covered.
Send somebody up. Send somebody up. Send
You coming
somebody
You
up. I
coming
can't even see
What's
you
up?
guys.
How you doing? How you doing? Just stand right here.
All right, we got
What's up?
pink, we got
Come on
blue.
up. Let's
Just
go.
come on, send somebody up.
Oh, do we have multiple? Are you purple?
He's purple.
Okay, purple.
All right, what's up, man?
Pink, awesome.
All right,
Blue,
so pink, you two,
pink.
grab this tube.
Who else? Who else we got?
Grab this tube.
Who's playing? Oh, nice. Here we go. Here we go. All
All right, let me see the crickets.
right, I need my other contestants. Here we go. Go on up. There's steps over there, but you can just crawl up here. That's fine. Hey, I need 2 up here.
Oh, crickets first. Yummy.
Are we just doing 2 at a time? Let's just do 2 at a time. I think that makes sense. You two, come over here, stand over here. You two, right here. Olivia, you're just gonna hang out for us for a second. What? We have too many people up here. We have too many people up here.
Go sit down. Go sit down. Go sit down.
You guys are both gray. They're both gray. He needs to stay.
They're both black. You're black team.
All right, here we go. Here we go. We're gonna
Black
scoot back
team,
just a
come
little
back.
bit.
Black team, come back. Come back.
Gray. We need one of the gray to sit down.
go sit down,
One of the
bro.
gray sit down.
Thanks.
All right, we're gonna have
Sit down,
these
sorry.
ones go ahead and go. The object is to get the insect into the other person's mouth. If you do that, you win. If it ends up in your mouth, you're out, okay? If you eat it, that's awesome. You don't have to. All right, so here we go. Here we go. 3, 2. Are we doing all 4 at the same time?
Yep.
All right, here we go. We're doing all 4.
Yes.
Sorry. Here we go. Get ready.
Okay.
Get ready.
3,
Oh,
2,
get ready. Get ready.
One.
1, go.
go. Taylor's gonna throw up.
Gagging. I'm gagging. All right, take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Oh!
You lost. Sit down.
Sorry. All right, make sure you're taking a breath. Hurry up. Oh, winner right here.
Whoa, you better-
winner right here.
Go.
If you lost, you got to go back. If you lost, you got to go back.
You won? Go sit down.
It's nasty. All right, my winners right
What do you
here.
guys-
Right here. Hey, take a breath. Take a breath. We don't
Take
want
a breath.
someone to die.
Breathe,
we don't want someone to
breathe.
die. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, it's moving. I see it.
Go sit down.
Oh, yes. All right, right here. Here's the next matchup. Right here.
Y'all just
You
play?
two. You two right here. Give me one of these.
Both y'all just won.
We just booked one.
All right.
Okay.
What insect are we doing this time?
Give me some worms.
We're doing the saga worms, whatever those are. We're doing those. You're
Does
just
anybody wanna
hanging
try
out
one?
with me, okay? Here we go. Wait, are you just gonna chow down on one? Nice.
What is that?
What's that taste like?
It's a worm.
Kind of worm.
It's called a sago worm.
Oh, all right, here we go. Do you guys have one? Wait. Whoa. Hold up. We'll count down in a second. All right, there we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Go.
Don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Oh, go.
Oh, my God.
Breathe. Don't forget to
Guys, I
breathe.
can't stand this stuff.
Breathe. Breathe air.
Did you lose? Good try. You can have
Oh, you go down.
All right,
All right.
here we go. Final two. Final
Yes.
two right here.
Next is crickets.
You get this? All right, final round right here. Guys,
2 crickets.
this is real bad for me. Real bad. Oh my goodness. Black. Wow. They got some support out there. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh. Take a.
Oh!
Green team.
Sit down, son.
Green team.
Sit
There
down.
we go. Woo-hoo-hoo.
All right. So
All right.
we have yellow team
Hold
left.
up.
And we have green team.
Hold
Our
up.
reigning champ is here. Reigning champ. You don't have to play if you don't want to. You can pick someone from your team.
Okay, I'm gonna pick someone from my team.
What?
I'm gonna pick someone from my team.
Do you know who you want to pick?
I don't know.
You want just anyone
It's up
from your
to
team?
you.
Really foggy. Carly.
Carly. Who's Carly? Carly from yellow team. Come on. Oh, here she comes.
Nice. Hey, good choice. Good choice.
Good job, Olivia.
Here we go.
All right, so give me the scorpions.
All right, so we saved the scorpions for last.
Give me the scorpions. I got
Scorpions are last. Here we go.
you. Hey, Taylor, will you try one?
No, I will not even
Bro,
look
will
at
you
those.
try one?
I will throw up on you.
I'll try one after.
All right, here. Ready? It's just a scorpion. It's, you know.
They smell kind of like coffee. You know how many people's spit is in this? It gets grosser every single time. You guys just made it. Hold, I gotta get it in the middle. Calm down. All right,
here we go.
everybody who just played this game has made out with like 8 people at camp now.
That's
okay,
all right. Here we go.
3, 2, 1,
go.
go. Oh, don't forget to breathe. Please don't forget to breathe.
I can't even watch.
It's so close. You're done? You gave up. Okay, she gave up.
Who won?
Green team wins.
Good play. Good play. Hey, good work. Good work. Thank you, Olivia.
Good job. Hey, will you eat this? Yeah. Will you eat this cricket? Nice job. All right, have a seat. Thank you for that. That was awesome.
Dude, that was pretty awesome.
That was great. Hey, thank you guys
We
so
do
much.
have one more thing we want to tell you about real quick.
One last thing.
One last thing. This year we're doing something called Fuse Wish. You guys probably heard about it on your bus. From now on, there's going to be a Fuse Wish mailbox outside of the cafeteria where
It's
you can
red and
submit
tan. It's really
wishes,
pretty.
Okay? Make sure you're doing that the rest of the week. We'll see you later.
Bye, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for David Wood.
Yes. Oh, hey guys. Yeah, we're on. All right. So, yes. Hey, I need something. I don't need that, but I have this for later. Hey, come on up. Come join me. Hey, this is Jalen, everybody. Give Jalen a round of applause. Yeah. All right. We're gonna keep this here. I did something to that earlier because I thought we were gonna have some fun. Hey, like I said, my name's David. I am so stoked to be here with you guys this week. It is gonna be amazing. We're gonna have a blast. I'm gonna hang out with you guys. Before I begin, I feel like I need to tell you all, just so that we're all on the same page. I'm from California, and yeah, thanks. Modesto, which is nowhere. It's a farm town. But yeah, I'm not used to the humidity, and I told myself it's gonna be humid, and I thought that I was ready, like in my brain, but my body wasn't, and it's hot. So I'm gonna glow, but I'm not gonna glow like pregnant ladies, because that's cute. I'm gonna glow like a kind of chubby guy. Like that's what I'm gonna glow like. So it's not gonna be good. My hair, it's gonna be in my face, but we're gonna have fun. I need someone's help. Who wants to help me out with this first one? All right, in the blue, yeah, come on up, man. Rhino, you can come this way. There's stairs on this side. Come on up, or just, yeah, that's cool too. What's your name, man?
Tyson?
Tyson. Come on up, give Tyson. Give him a round of applause, everybody. Very nice, all right. Tyson. Here's what we're gonna do. In just a second, I'm gonna have you reach in and take a card. But we have on the screens, we're gonna hook you guys up so that everyone can see what's going on. We're gonna get that going in just a second. Ah, there it is. Awesome. All right, so check out that screen. Make sure that you guys can see it. All right, you ready? Yeah. Cool. Here you go, man. I'm gonna have you reach in. I want you to grab one of those cards, doesn't matter. All right, you got it. Go show everybody. Oh, you didn't take one. I'm so sorry. Can't use your imagination? All right, no, here, just reach one, doesn't matter. All right, go ahead, show everybody. You gonna show them? Gosh, all right, here, good. Anyone you want. All right, go for it. Yep, whichever one you want. Go ahead. All right, go ahead, show people I'm not looking. You know what, now let's do this. I can see it, that's fine. Here, I got a Sharpie marker that I need real quick. Yeah, we'll have fun. Not everyone's seen it though, so this is gonna be good. All right, go ahead, turn that card over. It's okay if I see it. All right, I want you to write your name real big right on the face of that card for me, please. Whatever you want, man, make that yours. All right, man. Dude, you got nice handwriting. That's way better than mine. Here you go, I'll take that back. All right, do you know what you just did?
I signed a card.
You ruined my deck, yeah. No, it's okay, I asked you to. You made this card unique. There is no other card here, come on over. There's no other card like it in the world, right? That's important, because watch, I'm gonna take your card and we'll put it in the middle of the deck, and this happens real slow and then real fast. Okay, no one cares. All right, that's fine. Here, we'll try it again. Here, I'm gonna take your card. We'll put it in the middle. If I let air into the deck, just like that, your card jumps back up to the top. Here, thanks. Here, watch, I'll crease it. I'm gonna put a nice little bend in it so that you can see your card right there. You guys see that nice little bend? Yeah. Here we go. If I cover it up, jumps up. Here, hold on to that for me. Here, half the deck now. That was an integrity check right there. All right, here, tell me when to stop. Or just throw it in, that's fine. All right. Go ahead, tell me, yeah, say stop whenever you want. Okay, put it back. Oh, what? No, hold on, I'm sorry. That's right, with half the deck I snap. When I snap, it changes. There's a piece of a cricket right there. Here, hold your hand out flat for me. It was gross, yeah. All right, we're gonna put that right there. Put it in your hand, snap, and it jumps up. So cool. All right, here, I'll tell you what, thanks, man. I'll do it one more time, and then I'm gonna leave you alone. Have you ever seen a magician do anything before? You have, cool. So you may know a couple things, right? There's a sleight of hand. So we do tricky stuff with our hands. Then there's, what is that? Misdirection, I try to get you guys to look away. I got a lot of you. I didn't do anything then, that'd be mean. All right, but what oh, that was so close already. I'm gonna try to get your card to the top with my mouth. Yeah, let's try it. Your 10 of hearts to the top with my mouth. Here we go. There's a souvenir for you. Awesome. Thanks, man. Have a seat. Thanks, bud. Thank you. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. Hey, does anyone have any questions for me? Does anyone have any questions for me? What's, hold on, I can't. Okay, you have a question for me. What's your question?
Are you from a different dimension?
Just Hogwarts, but yeah, woo, yeah. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna ask for questions from time to time. If you have any question in the world for me, you can ask it, and I'll do my best to answer it. Yeah.
Can I volunteer next time?
Yeah, come on up. Yeah. All right. No. Sorry. Hey, how's it going? What's your name?
Sydney.
Sydney. All right, Sydney. I'm David. How are you?
Good.
Good. Okay, we're gonna try another one. Here's what I want. Actually, so we have Sydney. Let me get one person like from the middle. Oh, you're like, you have a lanyard with a hat. You know, you can do it from there, man. You can do it from there. Yep. Thank you. Yes. What's your name? One more time. Jackson. Okay, Jackson. All right, Jackson. And then over here in the middle, all right, I saw your hand with the letters on your shirt. There's somebody. Yeah. What's your name? One more time. Lawson, Jackson, and Sydney. All right, cool. Hey, I'm gonna try to do something. I just had him pick a card, and I found it a bunch of times by jumping up to the top. I'm gonna try to find, we'll take it a little step further. I'm gonna try to find 3 cards now, your card and 2 others. But before we do, I wanna do something, and it's very important that you help me with it. And that you do something first. Right here. Right there. Do me a favor, put your hand on that. Don't ever pick your hand. That got too serious. Yeah. You need to scratch your face, it's fine. Just use that hand. Betsy, actually you can help from there. You can help from there. Watch her, make sure that she doesn't pick her hand up, that she doesn't move it, nothing, okay? You can look up there if you'd like. Okay. You want, okay, come on up. Let's get Betsy. She wants to, yeah, come on up, Betsy. All right, hang out just right over there, right by her. And you can help make sure that she doesn't pick up her hand ever. All right, okay, sweet, here we go. Let's try this out. So Lawson and Jackson and Sydney, I'm gonna try to find 3 cards in increasingly difficult fashion. Ready? I'm gonna have you pick the cards. Tell me, what? Why are you watching? You just watch her hand, make sure she doesn't move it. All right. We good? All right, just check it. All right, you ready? Say stop whenever you want.
Stop.
Okay. Cool, here, that was weird. Here, one more time.
Stop.
What in the world? I don't know what's happening right now. The humidity is like, all right. Let's try this one more time. And I'm not gonna try to flip the cards, I'll just stop it. Go ahead.
Stop.
Okay, we got 1, 2, 3. All right, let's see what we got. We've got the 7, the 10, and the king. All right, very good. So Jackson, my man, you're gonna remember the king of clubs, okay? You got the king of clubs, that's yours. Lawson, you got the 10 of clubs, cool. And then Sydney, I'm gonna have you remember the, where'd that Sharpie go? Here it is, found it. I'm gonna have you remember the 7, but for the 7, I'm gonna have you write your name on that card as well. Are you left-handed?
Yes.
Dang. All right. It's fun when they're not. They're like chasing around like a dog in an empty food dish. It's very fun. All right, Sydney, there's no reason for me to have that name on the card. I just like to collect cards with names on them. That sounds weird. I'm not gonna say that anymore. All right. My bad. I see it. I heard it when I said it. I'm so sorry. All right, here we go. The first one was the 10 of clubs, or I'm sorry, the king of clubs was the first one to go. The next one, lost in your 10. It's next. And then last but not least is your card. Now, Sydney, it's very important, Sydney, that go ahead, keep your hand like flat. It's very important that you remember that you've had your hand on that one card from the beginning, before cards were selected, anything. All right, here we go, let's try this out. All right, I'm gonna find 3 cards, and you need to watch the hand, please. All right, so we're gonna find 3 cards, oh my, in increasingly difficult fashion. The first one is very simple. I snap my fingers, and just like that, the 10 of clubs jumps up to the top. No one cares, fine. All right, here, we'll put this in right here. Very good. And then the next one, Jackson. Lawson, you can have a seat. Thanks for helping me out. No, wait, no, you stand up. No, sit down. You had the 10, right? Yeah, sit down. All right, Jackson. All right, here you go, man. Tell me when to stop, and your card is gonna be right on the top of the deck, right when you say to stop, okay? It's good. Ready? There. Oh, okay. All right. Jackson, just like we practiced, okay? All right. Say stop whenever you want. You sure? That was really good. Thank you for that sympathy. Woo. Appreciate it. No, you know what? That actually, if I found your card like that, it wouldn't be any more difficult than it already is. What would be more difficult is if I found your card folded up in my wallet. That would be a little bit more difficult. Do you want to go get it? No, your job was to watch. Joker, you grab my wallet. Grab my wallet, bring it to me. Take it. Oh. It's hard, I know. All right, here, come on over. Inside my wallet, yes, Superman. It's one card. In that card. No. It's all right. The one card is the king of clubs. Yes. Awesome. Let me put that in there. Perfect. Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, my friends, that is how we find 3 cards in increasingly difficult fashion. What? No, I found 3. I found 3 because you remember in the very beginning you had your hand on a card? Like before cards were chosen, before you wrote your name on anything? You had your hand on 1 card, right? Yeah, I found 3. Go ahead, do me a favor, pick up your hand. Because just a second ago we had the king of clubs, then we had the 10 of clubs. But the hand that you had on from the beginning, the card that before anything happened, you had 7 of hearts under your hand. Awesome. Sydney, thank you. Thank you. Awesome. So fun. All right, all right. I got time for one more, and we're gonna use this guy. We're gonna use this guy. I did something to that. Here, I'm gonna take the first number right here between 2 and 5. I see a big 3. I'm gonna go with 3. I heard like, that's all I heard. I don't know what I heard. I'm gonna throw this out. The 3 people, the third person that touches it is gonna help. There's 1. Go ahead, take it, throw it to the next person. There's, wherever you want. 2. I don't have it. One more person. All right, and 3. Hey, you got it, all right. Hey, do me a favor, can you guys make a hole right there for her? Let her come up, just scooch over, come on over. You can hang out right in front right here, okay? Actually, I'll take, oh wait, yeah, hold on to that. Here, do me a favor, I love people, I love trying to figure people out, so here's what I want from you. I want you to think of a color. When I snap my fingers, say it out loud. What did you say? She said blue? Said blue, okay. I just, it's like a little experiment that I like to do. It's fun. Do me a favor, will you open up that piece of paper? And then with everyone quiet, read what it says on the paper. Blue, yeah, okay, just making sure. All right, here, I'll take the paper back now, thanks, that's fun. That's a fun little experiment, all right, next, I have something else for you. I have this, do you know what this is? That's an invisible deck of cards. I'm gonna throw it to you. You ready? Here. Nice catch. No, she got it. It's in her hands. All right, go ahead, take it out, and I want you to take out the deck, and I want you to shuffle the cards out. I'm gonna put them together. That's good. That's a good shuffle. All right, now, here, I want you to turn the faces towards yourself, and I want you to fan the cards towards yourself, and I want you to grab one. Do this. All right. Spread the cards out, looking at yourself, facing yourself, and then grab one of the cards out of the deck and close the rest up. All right, you got it? Go ahead, show that card to the camera. All right. Yeah. No one knows what that is. You want to say what it is? You say what the card is? So it could be a number from 2 to 10, an ace, king, jack, or queen. Jack of diamonds. The jack of diamonds. Okay, that's a great card. Jack of diamonds. Do me a favor now. I want you to turn the jack over and put it in the deck opposite of the other cards. Okay, and then you can put it back in the box and then give it to me. All right, that's fine. Tim Tebow made it to the NFL. We're good. Whoa. All right, okay, all right. I'm so sorry. All right, you said the jack of diamonds. You know what's crazy, because when I first came on here and I set that deck down, I said I did one thing to it, because like I said, I love people and trying to figure people out, like Blue. We hung out earlier. We didn't talk about this. This wasn't even a part of anything. But there's one card that I was thinking about when I did to this deck. You said the jack of diamonds is the one that you turned over. What's crazy? Because if you take this, we have There's one card. Let's try something. There it is, the one card that's face up out of all of them. What card did you say it was? The Jack of Diamonds? You said it was the Jack of Diamonds. All right, let's try this out. Jack of Diamonds. Oh, no! No, it can't happen like that. Can't happen like that. All right. No. We're fine. Let's do something else. Let's try something else here. All right. You know what? I want to do something else. You said, all right. It was the 10 here. Let's take the 10 right there. And if I wanted to, now how do I want to do this? Let's see. If I wanted to see if I can get the Jack, we got the 8 and the 10. If I just, the 8, what appears is the Jack of Diamonds. Jack of Diamonds. Jack of Diamonds. Thank you guys. All right. Hey guys, thank you. Appreciate hanging out. Thank you very much. You can have a seat. Dang. All right. So, here's what we got. We got the band coming up joining us. I just want to say this. I want to say this real quick before I get off the stage. I'm going to be here hanging out with you guys all week. I'm hanging out up here. I'll be on the main stage hanging out with you guys, showing you tricks. I'm also walking around doing all kinds of stuff with you guys, showing you tricks. We're going to have an awesome time just doing that. Yes, sir? What's your question? Am I a wizard? I am not a wizard, no. So we're gonna hang out, we're gonna have a lot of fun this week. The band's coming up to play. Thanks for hanging out. As we get to know, guys, come and say hi to me. I'll say hello. Thanks very much, y'all. See you in a bit.
If you're excited to be here, make some noise! Come on, y'all can do better than that. If you're excited to be here, make some noise! You ready? Let's go, jump! 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 Every voice! This is no performance. Lord, I pray it's worship. Empty words I can't afford. Come on, you know it. I'm not chasing feelings. That's not why I'm singing. You're the reason for my song. And I only wanna sing if I sing with everything. If I sing for you, my King. Just my soul's attention. All I have is what I'll give. It's more than a song that lights the moment. I'll live a life full of honest worship. If I'm here to sing, then I'll sing with purpose. All the praise, Lord, you deserve. Sing,
Who am I that the highest king would welcome me? I was lost, but he brought me into his love for me. Oh, his love for me. Come on, we sing. Who the Son sets free, who is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. Free at last, he has ransomed his grace runs. While I was a slave to sin, Jesus died for me. Come on, yes, he died for me. Who the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God, yes I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. Come on, sing this over your life. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. Oh, I am who you say I am. Who the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God, yes I am. There's a place for me. I'm a child of God, yes I am. Yes, because of what Jesus did on the cross for us, we can now live in this freedom that we are called sons and daughters of the one true King. So let's sing this together, declaring, I am chosen. Come on, lift your voice. I am who you say I am.
You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. Come on. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am.
teaching me to still every way at your name. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence me. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. Call these bones to live. Call these lungs to sing once again. I will praise Jesus, Jesus. You make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. You silence me. Jesus, Jesus. You make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. We sing out Jesus, and Jesus, Jesus. You make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. You silence me. Jesus, Jesus. You make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. Your name is a light that the shadows can't deny. Your name cannot be overcome. Your name is a light forever lifted high. Your name cannot be overcome. Jesus, Jesus. You make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. You silence fear. Jesus, Jesus. You make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Your name is a light that the shadows can't deny. Your name cannot be overcome. Your name is a light forever lifted high. Your name cannot be overcome. Your name is a light that the shadows can't deny. Your name cannot be overcome. Your name is a light forever lifted high. Your name cannot be overcome. Jesus, Jesus. You make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. You silence fear. Jesus, Jesus. You make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. And would you guys pray with me? Father, we are just so grateful that we can come before you. I love the truth. I love this truth that we are free indeed. That we are your children. We are your sons and your daughters. And I love that when we cry out your name, that all fear flees. When we cry out your name, your name shines, your light shines, and that we can just rest and know that, Father, you are with us, that you are for us, you are not against us. You're such a kind Father that you just want us to draw near to you. That's what you want. And so, God, we are just so honored that we can draw near to you and to come before you and just declare the name of Jesus, declare how great you are. We can declare how mighty you are, how you are a great healer, how you are our mighty fortress, how you are a warrior, how you are just always fighting for us. So God, I just ask that you would do something so good this week. And I pray that our heart and our eyes and our ears would be open to hear what you have to share with us. God, I pray that we can just draw near to you. And when we draw near to you, we find joy, we find peace, we find freedom. We love you and we praise you in Jesus' name. Thank you guys for singing. You may have a seat.
So I have these 3 letters in my phone. The first part of this year, a 16-year-old young man from Corona Del Mar, California, committed suicide, a high school baseball player. He wrote 3 suicide letters, and I have all 3 of those copies on my phone. I keep them there to remind me about how important you are. Adult leaders, small group leaders, you may appreciate this. I think this is important for you to hear. And especially if you're a middle schooler or a high schooler or a college student, you certainly need to lean in and listen. The 3 letters that he wrote, the first letter he wrote to his mom and dad. I think it was his attempt to make sure that his mom and dad didn't blame themselves, because here's what he said to his mom and dad. He just told them, my childhood was incredible. You guys love me. You are unbelievable. This is not about you. In some attempt, I think, to give his mom and dad solace about the decision that he was going to make. The second suicide letter that he wrote, or the second letter, he wrote to his high school baseball coach and his high school football coach. And if you're an adult in the room, I think this is very telling, because what he said to those men was this: that me playing sports for you was one of the highlights of my life. And he said it was one of the few times in my life where I got to feel like a kid. But the third letter he wrote to his school. And he pointed the finger toward them. And here's why I know this holds some weight tonight. Because especially if you're a high school student in the room, you feel this weight. Because for those of you that care, Corona Del Mar is the 4th most affluent city in our country. And this young man attends a school, and his comments to his school were basically this: that once you mess up one time, or you fail a test, or you fail a class, you get labeled a certain way, and I can't take it anymore. And so he decides to take his life. Now, there are a couple of things that I need to say really, really quickly. One, your generation, students, look at me. Your generation, all of the numbers are trending. Sexual activity, alcohol and drug abuse are trending down. Depression and suicide are trending up. You are considered the loneliest generation that's ever existed in America. And some of you in this room, I have already hit a nerve because you understand the thought process of a young man who decides to take his life. But I mentioned that tonight for this reason, that there's a reason why your incredible leadership team, these small group leaders, have decided to theme this whole idea as illusion. Because for those of you that don't know, here's what an illusion is. It is this capacity that we have to be fooled or deceived. And here's what's interesting about this young man and a ton of us sitting in the room tonight and you're here this week. In the same way that you live in a culture that is constantly deceiving you and misleading you, you are also a human being. And as a human being, you are a meaning-making machine. You want meaning. You want your life to count. You want to understand why things happen the way they do. You want to understand why it is that you have to do the things that you do. Many of you in this room, you are on that hunt. If you weren't, you wouldn't be sitting in this long Noah's Ark looking building and we just had a witch come and do card tricks. I mean, it's awesome, all right? David was awesome. Can we give him a huge hand? That was incredible. And he's not a witch, he's a wizard. But but we get that, right? You understand you are a meaning-making machine, and because you're a meaning-making machine, it's the reason why I'm constantly using language like this, that we need to do something. You need to watch this. You need to eat that. You need to hang out with them. You need to listen to this new Drake song. You need to do the shoot, all right? You need to do this. Here's what I mean. Can you throw that first picture up on the screen? I think that if you're an adult in the room, you need to watch 13 Reasons Why. Listen, if you're a student in the room, I don't think you should watch it without your parents. But if you're an adult small group leader in the room, you need to watch it because 13 Reasons Why is a glimpse at the life of a high school student and may give you even a clue why a 16-year-old young man in Corona Del Mar, California would take his life. Next picture. I think if you're a basketball fan that you need to watch a game at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Where are the Duke people? Are there Duke people here? Where are the Carolina people? Awesome. All the people go Wolfpack. Yeah, you're way by yourself, all right? But here's what I know, and I love my friend Chris Sasser, but if you go to a game at Cameron Indoor Stadium, it's the most incredible basketball experience ever. It's small, it's intimate, it's incredible. You need to do it before you die. Here's another thing, next picture. I think that you need to read this book, White Trash. White Trash, no, it's not my autobiography. I want you to listen, all right? White Trash, I started reading this book a couple of months before my wife and I recently visited Charleston, South Carolina. White Trash is the 400-year untold history of classism in our country. And the reason why it means something or should mean something to those of you in this room is because when we visited Charleston, South Carolina, my wife and I stood at this place called Gadsden's Wharf. Most of you have never heard of that, but if you're African American in the room, you should. Because Gadsden's Wharf, most historians believe, upwards to 50% of African Americans in our country can trace their lineage back to that very spot. Because you can stand at Gadsden's Wharf and draw a straight line to West Africa, where the slave trade route happened. And upwards to 50% of slaves landed there. This book will mess you up. You need to read that book. For those of you that are adults, next picture, my wife started this Enneagram thing. Anybody ever taken the Enneagram test? Yeah, I hate every one of you that just raised your hand. And the reason why, for those of you that care teenagers, Enneagram is a personality test where they start talking to you in numbers. Apparently, I'm a 4 with a 3 wing. It doesn't matter anything to you, but there are adults in this room. That's what they're going, oh, yes, I love it, I love it. Hercules, I love it. It's silly. But everybody tells me you need to do this. And then I think I have one more picture. Can you throw that other picture up? I've been told that I need to know who these people are. Now, exactly. Shh. Listen, what's interesting is all the girls screamed and all the guys went, huh? All right? Now, for those of you that care, listen, let me tell you who this is. This is Cole and Savannah LeBrant. And apparently, Cole slid into Savannah's DM, which sounds kind of bad, but I mean, it's a thing. He slid into her DM, they meet each other, they wind up falling in love, they get married, and now I think Savannah's pregnant. What's interesting though, she had a baby. She's having a girl. Isn't it amazing? Yes. Now, shh. It makes me laugh, first of all, that you guys know this couple. Secondly, at the beginning of the summer, I used this couple as an illustration at a camp where I was speaking, and this is not an exaggeration. 2 minutes after their names and this picture had come up on the screen, somebody walks up to me who knows Cole LeBrant and said, somebody in the audience just texted him and said, they're talking about you at this camp. And his comment was, is it another youth pastor making fun of my social media relationship? And I just want to make sure everybody is clear. I am not making fun of this couple. I don't know this couple. In my opinion, Cole LeBrant is a beautiful woman. I think that. I'm not making fun of him. I know he's a guy. There's a girl. He is a man. I know that. But my daughters have told me, you need to know that. And here's what's interesting. Because we are meaning-making machines and we live in a world where we're constantly under a different illusion, we're being deceived. We're constantly going, you need. Because somehow, some way in our culture, we have to put meaning to what it is that we experience. And here you sit, some of you came with a friend, and you've heard this from people like us. You've heard, you need Jesus. Shh. And I'm not real sure why that's funny. But there are a ton of you in this room, you've had some Christian, some pastor, some adult, some peer at your school, a classmate, a teammate, maybe even somebody already here this weekend or this week has said to you, you need Jesus. And the question you've got to ask is, and we have to answer, is in this world where there's constant illusion, where we are being deceived, and we have to find meaning some way, shape, or form, and people say we need this person, what makes Jesus so special? What makes Jesus someone for everyone? You've got to ask yourself that question, middle school student. You've got to ask yourself that question, high school student. Because here's what happens. You are living in a culture, the Western world creates this persona where you are constantly in doubt. And when somebody says, Jesus, you need him, you've got to ask what makes him so special. And I want to slide something across the table to you tonight quickly, because I know you're tired. Hear me. You and I, in our desire to have meaning in a world where there's constant disillusionment, we have, I don't think it's intentional, but we've made this idea of Jesus, the gospel, this good news, we've wrapped it around this idea that the gospel is an invitation for you to accept Jesus. I want to make very clear as we get going, the gospel is not an invitation, guys and girls, adults, for you to accept Jesus. The gospel is this stunning announcement that God accepts you. That God looks at you right where you are, and here's what he thinks about you. That he is so enamored with you, that he thinks you're incredible, that he thinks you have worth, that he thought it so much that he made you in his image. And part of the reason why we think that way, could you put that tree up on the screen? Here's what we have done. Every world religion in the world thinks about their belief system like this tree. Every world religion says that your job, if you're going to find meaning, is to make sure that your life bears incredible good fruit. And so here's what a ton of you in this room have done. You have spent most of your life trying to make sure you do good things. Some of you have come here this week, and the reason why you're here is that there have been less good things in your life, and so you need to make sure, how am I going to get this right? And so your life in search of meaning in a world that is full of illusion is this constant attempt, how do I make sure that my life, your life represented by the tree, is full of tons of good behavior so that my parents will love me, so that I might get a date, so my teachers won't hate on me, so my social media likes will go out the roof. And that's how you find meaning. And then you actually start reading the story of Jesus and what he had to say to people. And the other part of it is, if that's what you think about when you think about following Jesus, unfortunately, there are scores of us in this room that are living in this illusion. We think that becoming a Christian is the finish line. We think that becoming a Christian is to make sure that our life looks like that tree. Students and adults, becoming a Christian is not the finish line. Following Jesus is just the start. Because there's something else at play. For those of you that don't know, Jesus came into a scene where there were people who were consumed with making sure their life, like that tree, was unbelievably beautiful and full, and the fruit of their life was impeccable, and nobody could question it. They were unbelievably religious people in the time of Jesus, Jews called Pharisees, 1,000 plus of them living when Jesus was walking the planet. And they had reduced their life, their relationship with God, to a finish line. That as long as I get this light right, I'm all good. And Jesus comes onto the scene, students and adults, and he starts talking about things in a way that changes the perspective. He starts poking at the illusion that they were under. So much so that even some of those religious leaders started questioning their philosophy of what it meant to have a relationship with God. We have this account in John chapter 3. I saw some of you bring your Bible in. You can turn there if you want. If not, we'll throw it up on the screen. In John chapter 3, we have this account of one of those religious leaders coming and having a conversation with Jesus. His name was Nicodemus. And here's how we know that this was a very touchy issue, because one of the immediate things that John records is that this religious leader, staunch Pharisee, a PhD in religion, he came and had a conversation with Jesus at night. Students and adults, look. The reason why Nicodemus came at night is that if it were found out that Nicodemus was talking to this guy who was presenting life in a different way, Nicodemus not only could have every bit of his authority stripped from him, but he could also probably lose his life. It was that risky. Why? Because the religious side was under this illusion. And anybody that messes with this, you're a heretic. And so here's what the scriptures say. John chapter 3, verse 1. There was a Pharisee, a man named Nicodemus, who was a member of the Jewish ruling council. And he came to Jesus at night and sat and said, Rabbi, teacher, I think this is interesting. He says, Rabbi, teacher, we know. See, Nicodemus wasn't the only person that was taking a step back and going, whoa, maybe we're under an illusion. Maybe we've decided a relationship with God is just the finish line. Maybe there's something more. And so basically Nicodemus was the spokesperson for a bunch of religious leaders that were going, maybe there's something more to this. It's the reason why John says, he says, we know that you're a teacher who has come from God, for no one could perform the signs you're doing if God were not with him. Have you ever started a conversation with someone and the person immediately jumps to why you really want to talk? You kept it over here and they immediately go, is this the reason why we're talking? Jesus does this because Nicodemus is like, bro, Jesus, you've been doing some crazy, crazy things. There was that leper that you healed, and there was that person whose nose was falling off, and you just touched them, and they're like, I can smell it. And there was this person that couldn't walk, and you touched their legs, and they were doing all that. It was amazing. And Nicodemus is going, that's unbelievable. And Jesus looks at Nicodemus and says, truly, here's why you want to talk. Unless you're born again, you will never inherit the kingdom of God. And you almost get this sense that Nicodemus is like, how did you know that's what I wanted to talk about? So here's what Jesus says to him. He says, very truly I tell you, no one can see the kingdom of God unless they are born again. Nicodemus was a PhD in Pharisee, as smart and as religious as you could get. And this completely blows his mind. How do we know? Because of how he responded. Look at how he responded when Jesus says, you're not going to inherit the kingdom of God until you're born again. Nicodemus goes, how could someone be born again when they're old? Surely they cannot enter a second time in their mother's womb to be born. Now, in the words of the great theologian Jimmy Fallon, ew, okay? The idea of being born again as you're old, going back into your mother's womb, can we just admit that's nasty, okay? Secondly, if you're a mom, it's not ooh, it's ow, that hurts, okay? Because you're old. And a guy going or a girl going back into her mother's womb and coming back out, that hurts, okay? That's painful. And so Nicodemus is going, hold on a second. First of all, that's gross. Second of all, that's not possible. Why in the world would you say that that's what has to happen in my life? Here's the reason why. Because Jesus understood something about him, and he understands something about you that you don't understand about yourself. Psst. You are not here because you are a physical being trying to figure out how to become more spiritual. You are here because you are a deeply spiritual being trying to figure out how to become the best version of a human that you were created to be. And instead of you dealing with all the fruit of your life, Jesus says, let me get to the issue. And the issue, middle school student, the issue, high school student, the issue, college student, the issue, adult, is this. You are a spiritual being that at the very core of who you are is deeply, deeply flawed. And if you want to experience the kingdom, not heaven, it's a part of it, but if you want to have the life that you were created to live, you've got to have a new birth at the very core of who you are, at your spiritual level, the real you. And if we were to take the tree illustration, he says, this is you. Spiritually, you're dead. And if you want to have the life you were created to have, you have to have your spirit reborn. See, Jesus didn't come to make bad things better. Jesus came to make dead things alive. Jesus didn't come to fix that stuff hanging on your tree that's bad and to improve it. He came to take dead things and make them alive. It's the reason why 30 years after Jesus rose from the dead, historically documented, not my opinion, not myth, not legend, 30 years after Jesus rose from the dead, a guy named Paul, who wrote half of the New Testament, said to the church in Colossae, when you were dead in your sins, God made you alive in Jesus. When you were dead at the very core of who you are, think that dead tree. When you were dead in your sin, God made you alive with Christ. He forgave us all our sins, having canceled the charge of our legal indebtedness, which stood against us and condemned us. He has taken it away, nailing it to the cross. It's the reason why he wrote the church in Ephesus and said, I urge you to live a life worthy of the calling you've received. In other words, you've received this invitation to have a relationship, to be made new, to be reborn spiritually, and now your life needs to begin to equal to that invitation, that your life begins to work itself out and be the equivalent of what you've been asked to become, or even better, what Jesus sees in you. And here's why that is completely contradictory to most of what we think about God. Because unfortunately, there are a ton of you in this room. Here's the truth for you. We portray the God that is angry at sinners and happy about hell. Some of you in this room, you've grown up thinking this about your Creator, that he's ticked off at people who do bad things, because after all, life is about making sure you have good fruit on the tree. He's angry at you because of your sin, and he can't wait to send bad people to a bad place. Like he's in heaven going, Listen to me, students and adults, this is so important. So important. Listen, your selfishness, your sin, that propensity in you to do things that are all about you and what you want to do at the expense of other people, what the Bible calls sin. Look, your sin does not make God angry. Psst, it breaks his heart. And let me tell you why it breaks his heart. Because your sin breaks people. Your sin has broken you. It's the reason why some of you in this room can't even have a conversation with your parents. Look at me, because this is what you know is true. Either they, but it was probably you, got incredibly selfish at some point, and you know what that sin did? It broke the relationship. It's broken you. It's why there are guys in this room. You used to date a girl in this room, and now y'all can't look at each other without, I hate you. You know that thing that happens? And the reason why that happened, reason why there's that kind of rub, the reason why there's that kind of tension is because sin breaks you. It's the reason why there are young ladies staring me in the face or not looking at me, and your heart is absolutely broken because you went a little too far with your selfishness and it broke you. It's the reason why there are guys listening to me right now and you become the consummate jokester. You're always making fun and making light of everything. But what you don't realize that we realize is that part of you is just a defense mechanism because you're broken. It's why, by the way, there are adults in this room who've given hard-earned money and vacation time to invest in you, because we all understand what it was like to be your age. Because when we were your age, we did incredibly selfish things and it broke us. And I want you to hear this. God is not angry at your selfishness. He's heartbroken because he's seen how it's affected you. And he knows how it affects your relationship with him. And I also want to say to that guy or girl who came with a friend, and maybe you don't say this out loud, but you certainly live this way, you practically live this way. You're the guy or girl sitting in the room, and there's this part of you that considers yourself agnostic, and there's this part of you that considers yourself atheist, like you don't even give God a chance because you don't even think it's real, or you're kind of agnostic, you're like halfway in, halfway out, or I just don't care, or I'm just nominal about that stuff, I'm just doing my life. And here we are, small group leaders and adults, and at some point, perhaps this week, somebody's gonna trust you enough to be honest with you about that kind of thing. And I love the fact, if you are here and you consider yourself an agnostic or atheist, first of all, you're my favorite person in the room, because it actually means that you're thinking about this instead of just operating like a robot, like a bunch of Jewish Pharisees in the first century that just took what everybody said, and Jesus comes along and goes, whoa, 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 whoa. Here's what life looks like. This is what the kingdom of God is. And I love the fact that you're sitting here and you're thinking agnostic and atheist, And maybe you haven't had enough courage to come out and say that, but maybe you have. Maybe you've said some things. And I love the fact, adults, we need to understand that perhaps this apathy, or maybe this rebellion, or maybe even just the fact that there are high school students or middle school students even, or maybe even some college students in this room, they have labeled themselves as agnostic or atheist. I'm convinced there are some of you in this room, that whole agnostic atheist thing is just code for, I call beep on this version of God that I've been presented with. And let's be honest, adults in the room, most of us in this room, if not all of us in this room, you don't even want to follow that version of God that is so angry at you that he wants to send you to hell. And Jesus comes along and goes, I've come to give you life, but to have it, you've got to be reborn at the very core of who you are, because you're a dead tree. You're a dead tree that needs life. So what are you going to do with that this week? In all of the illusion that you and I live in, how are you going to wrestle down this important and critical fact that Jesus says, this is where life is found. It's found in me. It's found in you having a new birth spiritually. And I get it. Some of you are looking at me like I think Nicodemus looked at Jesus that night. In fact, for those of you that care, Jesus says all that he said, and Nicodemus at some point in the conversation just goes, how can this be? But between the ooh and the ouch, how can this be? Reborn? It's not a finish line, it's the beginning? How can this be? And you know what's interesting? We really don't know if Nicodemus walked away from that conversation with a realization and an understanding of what he needed his life to be. We don't have the way that John writes it and records it. We don't have this actual, here's what Nicodemus did with that conversation. But we actually do. We actually do, because for those of you that don't know, days, weeks, months, years later, this happened. There was a scene. And we know for a fact, history tells us, that a guy named Nicodemus, a Pharisee, was standing in the crowd that day, looking at a guy named Jesus hanging on the cross. And for those of you that care, we've painted a picture, we've done you a disservice. We've painted you a picture that, it was a very beautiful, poetic picture of Jesus hanging there, when in reality, there's a very high probability that it was on the edge of a garbage dump. And I'm not trying to be crude or rude or gross, but here's the reality. Criminals that were crucified did not have the right to be buried properly. So here's what the Romans would do. What the Romans would do is they would let whoever died on a cross hang there and rot until they needed that cross again. And then, usually the body had rotted so much that they could just pull at the limbs, pull them off, and throw them into the garbage dump. And here's what we miss. Behind this scene were probably the dismembered body parts and bloated bodies of criminals that had died before. But that wasn't what happened with Jesus. And the reason why that wasn't what happened with Jesus is because when John records that Nicodemus had a conversation with Jesus, Jesus told this crazy analogy in the middle of that whole thing. By the way, that John chapter 3 is the same place where Jesus looked at him and said, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only son, me, that whoever would believe in me does not have to perish but have eternal life, because God did not come into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world through me." And at some point, Jesus tells Nicodemus, just like Moses in the wilderness lifted up a snake, and if the people looked at it, they would be saved. If I'm lifted up, I will draw all people to myself. And for those of you that care, 1,000+ years before, when the Exodus happened, there was an outbreak of snake bites because the people of Israel, as it's recorded in the Old Testament, the Jewish Bible, as it's recorded, there was this outbreak of snake bites because the people were ungrateful for the food that they were, as they were wandering around in the wilderness. And Moses goes and constructs this statue, a snake statue made of bronze. And he was told by God, if you lift it up and people look at it, they won't die from the snake bites. And so when Jesus is talking to Nicodemus, he tells him that just like Moses lifted up the snake, if I am lifted up, I will draw people to myself. And watch this, students and adults. Here's what I want you to get, that at some point, Nicodemus is standing there and he sees Jesus lifted up. And there's a part of me that thinks it clicked. And how do we know? Because it was illegal for you to bury a criminal. But we know that a guy named Joseph of Arimathea, a very rich gentleman, went to the authorities and he asked them, can we have Jesus' body? And I will bury him in my own tomb. And I love this part. And he was accompanied by Nicodemus, the man who earlier had visited Jesus at night. You know what that tells me? That Nicodemus, got it. Something had changed. It's not about a finish line. This is the start. So what illusion are you living under? And could it be that this week for you is an opportunity for there to be new birth? Not here, but here. It's going to be an incredible week. So much so, I want you to reach over and I want you to grab the hand person sitting next to you. If you're a middle school student, get fired up. You're touching somebody. Ha! There's a guy right now going, I'm touching a girl. There's a high school guy saying that. Easy, Tiger, easy. Let me pray for us. Jesus, here's what I ask over the next couple of days, next couple of times that we're together, when we're talking, when we're laughing, when we're playing. I pray that you would, first of all, give small group leaders incredible wisdom as we dive into this idea of the illusions that we're under. Some very, very heady, deep stuff in many regards. And for some of us, something so easy, so practical, that it's just a simple fix. But for others of us, there is this great need for us to be made new. And so I pray tonight as we spend time talking to people who love us, who we can trust with our friends, that you'll help us dig in. I pray for the high school guy who is listening so intently, because here's what he knows. He has spent most, if not all, of his life trying to make sure the parts of his outward appearance are good, when in reality, deep down, he knows spiritually he needs rebirth. Pray the same thing for the young lady, maybe even an adult who's mistaken in thinking that the good news is that we get to accept you. The reality is you accept us. While we were dead in our sin, you make us alive in you. So do that in us as we sing this back to you, as we sing this for you, as our worship leaders sing this over us.
Worthy of every song we could ever sing, and worthy of all the praise we could ever bring. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. Jesus, the name above every other name. Oh, Jesus, the only one who could ever save. You're worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. Tell him he's holy. Holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder. Show me who you are and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around.
So we had a great first night of camp. I hope you guys had a good time here tonight and you've learned a little bit. And our hope for you tonight is it's 10:45. We want you in your cabins at 11:30. So what we're going to do is you're going to go back to your cabins. Everybody needs to go back to cabins in order to have a conversation about what we just heard about tonight. Leaders and students, as part of the conversation tonight, you all need 5 note cards. So leaders, we have them divided out in the back of the room. Grab enough stacks of 5 for your students. And students, make sure you bring your pens with you. You need note cards and pens. We will see you tomorrow morning at breakfast. Have a great night.